The amber lights are flashing, so things are looking good. We watch Conda Parikis and Macaulay Jones side by side. The green light is on and they're racing. Conda Parikis takes an early lead. Jones has been bettered by the man in third spot. That's Holly. Shannon Holly has moved up into second. He's relegated Jones back to third, and those three are out in front by about 2 cart lengths over fourth spot. And it's anybody's guess who's fourth, but my pick would go to Aaron Johnson. He took a real good start around the outside as they came through Conacher Corner. Down into the infield proper now, and it's definitely Conda Parikis that's in the lead over... Well, Jones is back into third place.
Stacks on the mill at the top of the hill there as a number of carts are off further back. I thought that might have been Sean Tidyman that we've seen, but definitely the 89 card involved in, the 86 card involved in that accident, which is Anton Di Pasquale.
Well, Jones, Macaulay Jones.
Here we go with a replay here. Mitchell Leeson involved in that. The 7 of Brittany Hall also caught up in the incident. So a number of carts there just really having their share of troubles. But I think Leeson, actually in the 23 cart, and Pasquale were able to keep going. So lucky for them that they were able to keep it out there. But it's a long way back when you look at Conda Parikis, Holly, and also Farkas there battling it out. And Jones with a well of work to do.
Well, Holly and Farkas are staying right with Conda Parikis as they come down into the infield corner. Where's Macaulay Jones? He's back
behind Johnson.
Fifth. Yeah, that's unusually far back. Obviously got caught up in the melee, but there's no doubt about the 3 front runners. It's Conda Parikis in the lead over Shannon Holly and Chris Farkas. Those 3 take a lead of about 4 or 5 cart lengths over fourth place person as Aaron Johnson. Then comes Macaulay Jones, Brock Plum in 6th spot, Nicholas Ellen in position number 7, and Shay Please in position number 8. As we watch our leading pack come down towards the tractor tyre corner, the 3 front protagonists are still there and they're still arguing. It's Conda Parikis that's still the leader as they come down through the left-hander into the infield hairpin, and Conda Parikis has got 2 cart lengths over second place man Shannon Holly. Shannon Holly has got maybe a cart length and a half over Chris Farkas in third place. Then there's a gap that's opened up to Macaulay Jones, who's moved up 1 position, has relegated Johnson back to 5th, and he's in 4th place as they come past the start-finishing line that time around. Meanwhile, back to our leaders, and Conda Parikis giving the number 1 cart the hurry up as they go over the Oklahoma Bridge, but Shannon Holly's got the run on him as they enter the braking area. There's no doubt that Shannon's cart has got the up-top power. He was making good inroads towards Conda Parikis at the top of the hill. Third place is sitting back there biding his time, and I can see a dice happening now for 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th and 8th place.
As just looking out there, the 88 cart of Joseph Mawson already up to 18th position, charging through the field. And whilst the front runners are somewhat stable, it's the 88 cart of Mawson who's really trying to put a big charge on as he works his way now through the final turn and across the start-finish line with 12 laps left to run. He looks to the inside of the 81 cart of Mitchell of the 81 car of Mitchell Wilmont. So a great move there, and he takes 15th position. So when you have a cart starting out of 35th spot, and he runs up now in 15th. He's been making some huge moves, and he's onto the back of Anton Di Pasquale in the 86. As he works his way through the infield, the front runners are still spread out at the front of the field. So the best battles are going on in fact, for 6th, 7th and 8th at the moment. 6th, 7th and 8th as we have a spin. It does look all clear. I thought I saw a spin there. But yes, it was. The spin was the 21 cart. That's Stephen Jones. He was the cart that was in trouble off the start that cut through the left-hand side of the racetrack. Right. And now he finds himself in more trouble as Jones is battling it out with Plum. He's ahead of Plum for 4th position. Race leader Conda Parikis in the 1, Holly in the 10. The 85 is Farkas in 3rd. But those 3, well, the time will tell if they get to Constantina back together. Jones and Plum are trying to line up now as Mawson is off the circuit. So the 88 cart, unfortunately for him, after a huge run through the field, it comes to nothing, and he's on the infield, just on the short chute from track to turn.
It's turning out a very interesting race. This one, Conda Perikas has run a 48.212, which is the fastest lap of the race. And up until the time he went off, I'll get it right in a sec once I swallow my tonsils, but
yeah,
from the rear of the field.
Well, it was Mawson. He was up to about 13th position when he came off there, Glenn. Yep. Race leader is still Conda Perikas, though, with Holly and Farkas back there in second and third. Jones still not able to close up that gap. And Darcy Conda Perikas, the national champion, has, 2009 Nationals. That's why he's got the green plate on his cart. He is in the Arrow Intrepid with the Powerlease Hurst engine, and is certainly thanking the support of Parramatta Kart Wholesalers as your leader heads across Yokohama. The 8 cart now in trouble. That's Josh Crossingham, who pulls himself off the circuit. So unfortunately for him, he won't see his way to the checkered flag in the final of the Junior National Heavies, brought to you by Germani Trophies and Engraving. Conda Perikas leads from Holly and Farkas. Holly and Farkas have been very smart. They've run nose to tail here, kept the momentum up, knowing that they need to do everything as perfectly as possible to maintain on the back of the national champion, Conda Perikas.
And they're doing a good job of that too. They've stuck there. There hasn't been any sort of a gap open up, and I wouldn't put out the second and third runners for a win in this. It's certainly not over yet, with Farkas and Holly right on the back of Conda Perikas. Conda Perikas, though, seems to be doing it fairly easy. He looks over his shoulder quite regularly to see where the others are.
We thought David Serra was doing that a race ago, though.
I was just about to say that probably the second and third place getters have seen the junior clubman race prior and know that anything can happen. And it very likely could. With Conda Perikas, though, he's a cagey young fella, this kid. He's every race I've seen him in, he's won. So not too much I can say about Darcy other than that he's a top runner.
Yeah, he's out in front now by 0.2 of a second over Holly Farkas. Just looking at another battle further back in the pack. The 74 of Jared Corney is in 10th position, and he has got O'Farrell, Braden Pritchard and Anton Pasquale all right on his back hammer as they're going up over the Yokohama Bridge. They're 3 wide as they head over the top and onto the pinch as they work their way, diving around, and Corey has lost 3 spots in that move. So O'Farrell, Pritchard making the move forward. They're off into the dirt. It was the 81 card, I think, of Wilmont. So there's plenty of shenanigans going on back in the field there, and as a result, it looks like Corney has dropped about 3 spots. Oh, he's definitely dropped 2 spots, and that battle is strung out with the 86 of Anton Pasquale now leading that battle, which is an amazing run. Leader is still the number 1 of Darcy Conda Perikas, and Holly Farkas closing in. We've got a replay now of that tete-a-tete which happened behind Corey. It was, in fact, the 81 of Wilmont that got into trouble out onto the dirt there and brought a sort of an end to what was a promising battle. But Conda Perikas, with 5 laps left to run, heads through the final turn as Holly and Farkas really can't do much about him. He is just pacing himself beautifully, and with these J engines in the Junior National Heavy class, that is all about momentum racing. You cannot afford to lift off the throttle or even throw the cart sideways, because any scrubbing of the tyres will also lose you a bunch of pace.
I'm just watching a dice here between Macaulay Jones and Brock Plum. And look at the pressure that Brock Plum is putting onto the back of Macaulay Jones. They're just about into the infield now, heading on their way down towards the hairpin. And for the last 3 laps I've watched them, they haven't been any further apart than they currently are, with Plum really putting the pressure on as they get up towards the top end of the circuit up here. As they come up here, you watch Plum close up onto the back of Macaulay as they head down now towards the start-finishing line. Is he going to have a run this time? He's certainly looking the goods as they go down into Conica Corner. Our 3 leaders are already through there. Still, it's Conda Parikis, the leader over Shannon Holly and Chris Farkas, but the dice between Jones and Plum still very much alive as they cross the bridge. Macaulay has managed to hold on to the 4th spot as they go over the skyline and down into the tractor tyre corner.
Absolutely nothing between our leaders now as they work through the infield. It looks like Shannon Holly is finding some real good top end speed, because on any of the longer straights he is getting his nose up under the back bumper of race leader Conda Parikis. So Conda Parikis in Australia 1, the North Shore Karting Club member in the Parramatta Kart Wholesalers Power Lease Racing Engines entry. Now watch Holly in the 10 kart as he goes up. He's going to go to the outside of Conda Parikis. You need to be on the inside if you want to take a serious lunge, but he's folding up the back number plate. Such is the way that Holly is tucked under the back of Conda Parikis. So anything could still happen with the 2 laps that are left to run here in this Junior National Heavy Final.
This is definitely not over. I can tell you that the man in 3rd position, Holly, is looking very, very good. In 2nd position, Holly is looking good. You're dead right with the power, Craig. As they go into the entrance to the bridge, Holly is much, much closer to the back of Conda Parikis, and this is what's going to happen this time around. Watch Holly for a good run out of Conica Corner.
Real trouble back in the pack, just coming out of the infield hairpin there, and we've got 1 kart off the circuit, but again there's a big gaggle of karts further back. This time it's Corey, the 74 kart, but Wilmont and O'Farrell, Guillotini and Barbera are all just having such a great battle further back in the field as Conda Parikis pulls away again at the front. It
was a shame that time for Shannon Holly, because he got seriously balked in Conica Corner that time by a move from Farkas on the inside of him, and that's cost him the 4 kart lengths that he's behind at the moment. But there is still 1 lap to go, and there's still plenty of time, particularly with the pace of this number 10 kart. If he can get a good run out of Conica Corner, it's definitely going to be on as they go across the bridge. But to me, looks like he's probably a kart length short as they head up towards the Yokohama Bridge. The last lap board has been displayed. Conda Parikis is our leader, and he's a comfortable leader too. 2 or 3 kart lengths over Shannon Holly in position number 2, and Chris Farkas in 3 is similarly about 2 kart lengths behind Shannon. So the front 3 already into the infield, and again we say this is the 2009 New South Wales Sprint Kart champion in the Junior National Heavy class, and that's going to be Darcy Conda Parikis. A tremendous weekend driving from Darcy. He's put it to him in every event he's been in. The checkered flag is out. Darcy Conda Parikis is our state champion for 2009, with Shannon Holly taking out 2nd place. In 3rd place is Chris Farkas. 4th place is Macaulay Jones. Brock Plum comes home in 5th. Mitchell Wilmot is in 6th place. Aaron Johnson fills out the 7th position. Nicholas Ellen is in position number 8. Shane Plus in position number 9. And rounding out the top 10 is Samuel Preen. So that was a very good final. Even though Conda Parikis didn't actually get past at any stage during the event, he certainly didn't run away with it. It was a top battle all the way to the end.
It was indeed, as we get set for the final race. We've got a replay just before we go to that. As up over the back, there was quite a monumental hit there with the 23 of Mitchell Leeson getting into the back of, I'm not sure which kart it was now, but it might have been Di Pasquale, and Leeson getting involved in that wreck. It was a nasty moment there coming down off the bridge.